Hi, this is Chick Shane Mosley, and you're watching True School Sports.
All right.
Well, it's personal between me and you, and I'm going to do you some serious harm, you big stiff idiot.
The untouchable True School Sports Empire proudly presents something the boxing game's been missing. Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. Now, Conor Benn, the latest developments in the whole Conor Benn situation. You know, we know he got caught a couple weeks back for taking female fertility drugs. You know, Eddie Hearn trying to spin the narrative, talking about due process and UCAD, in competition, out of competition, trace elements, saying that he only had this much PED. Like, he's just gone full damage control, and this situation looks like it's aged him quite a bit. Now, the British Boxing Board of Control, we heard Eddie Hearn for a while say that wait for Conor Benn to go through the process of having a hearing with the British Boxing Board of Control. Don't just be so quick to condemn him, because it's innocent until proven guilty, not guilty until proven innocent. He's taking a whole different stance with this Conor Benn situation than he did with, like, let's say, you know, Jarrell Miller or other guys that he didn't promote when they took PEDs, right? So basically what happened was there was a hearing that took place on October the 21st. On the morning of the hearing, Conor Benn voluntarily relinquished his license with the British Boxing Board of Control, meaning that, you know, in layman's terms, in simple terms, he turned himself in. It's like this is like the equivalent. Like, I'll give you guys an analogy. Conor Benn giving his license to the British Boxing Board of Control is the equivalent of, like, when you're at work and you're not really doing a good job, or maybe the boss don't like you and people are just snitching on you, and you feel like you're gonna get fired soon. So before you get fired, you quit. You know, you can't fire me, I quit. That type of thing. So that's what that's what Conor Benn has went ahead and he's done. He's voluntarily given up the license with the British Boxing Board of Control, which really makes him look very, very. He contradicted himself, because he said on Instagram not too long ago that the apology needs to be as loud as the disrespect. So if there really was something to hide, then why couldn't he just go to the British Boxing Board of Control and prove his innocence? You know, they're saying, Eddie Hearn's saying that now Eddie Hearn's trying this diversion tactic where he's saying that this whole thing has nothing to do with him testing positive for clomiphene, and he's saying it's for something else. And Conor Benn, like, it really is, truthfully, a shit show. And I'm not here to try to pile on Conor Benn. We're all gonna sin. We all have skeletons in our closet, and we're all gonna do things that we're not proud of. Everybody has, myself included. So I'm not here to do that. But what I'm here to is to talk about what's going on in the sport of boxing. What's going on in the sport of boxing? This is what happens when you try to kill another fighter, because that's what this was. Eddie Hearn and Conor Benn, in conjunction with Conor Benn, we're going to be juiced to the gills to try to beat up on a 60% Chris Eubank. And now Eddie Hearn did comment about this, and here are some of his statements about the whole Conor Benn situation. He stated the following on Conor Benn giving up his license, and I quote, "All I'll say is that the misconduct charges have been brought against him were not in relation to a doping ban. He felt they were outrageous, and he wasn't going to be allowed correct process, so he wanted to take his fight to a higher level. I can't tell you. All I will tell you is that it is not in relation to the doping ban." He then went on by saying, he said that pretty much he's not going to promote Conor Benn anymore if he's found guilty by the British Boxing Board of Control. So that's what it is. So I guess there's still more process to be had with this. Listen, I don't think his boxing career is over, because like a wise man once told me there's many different ways to skin a cat. So let's just say if they give Conor Benn a 3-year boxing ban in the UK, well, then guess what? He can just come fight in America, because there's different rules in America, and he hasn't been banned in the USA. So he can come to America, can fight Adrian Broner on BLK Prime. BLK Prime gonna fuck around and take over the whole sport. He can come to Death Row on BLK Prime and fight Adrian Broner. And if he doesn't fight Adrian Broner on BLK Prime, he could do what Chisora did. He could get a license with the Luxembourg Commission that sanctioned the David Haye Chisora fight. Like, there's ways around it, but either way you cut it up, slice it, and dice it, the biggest loser in all this, I still feel the biggest loser in all this isn't even Conor Benn himself. It's really Eddie Hearn, because it's really exposed Eddie Hearn for the sociopathic guy he is. You know, Eddie Hearn, great promoter, respect the work ethic. I'll never talk down on his work ethic because you can't take that from him. But it's like, this fight was the ultimate cash grab. It really had no significance so far as boxing is concerned. It really was just a fight that was built off the strength of two sons of famous British fighters who don't even have beef anymore. So you try to rekindle a manufactured beef that wasn't even there anymore, all for the love of a pound note, all for the love of money. You see what I'm saying? So that's what it is. The British Boxing Board of Control, you know, they were going to fire Conor Benn. Conor Benn said, "You can't fire me. I quit." You know, so he got rid of that. That's the most telling thing, because an innocent man would not be so willing to turn himself in, would not be so willing to, you know, give up his boxing license in the UK. So my thing is this, and it goes back to what I said in one of my first videos about this subject. I genuinely feel like Conor Benn should come clean. He should do what I don't think I've ever heard any fighter do, and say, you know what, listen, I had a lot of pressure on me being the son of Nigel Benn. I saw a lot of guys in boxing cheating, and I heard a lot about guys cheating and getting a competitive advantage. I tried to do the same thing. I was caught. I was wrong. Own up to it, man. Like, tell the truth, and the truth shall set you free. All this, like, posturing and trying to, you know, rationalize that you didn't have female fertility drugs in your system, it's just not, it's not a good look. Truthfully, it's not a good look, and I hope Conor Benn, if somebody's out there on his team is listening, you know, come clean, be honest. You know, the world as a whole may not forgive you. I've already forgiven Conor Benn, because look, we've all fucked up in our own lives. I know I've done a lot of things I'm not proud of, and you know, he's, you know, I'm sure he's not happy about this. I'm sure he's not thrilled about this, but this should be a learning lesson to all fighters that, you know, whether it be early or late, what's done in the dark will always come to light. And you don't want to have your reputation, which you spent so long and hard to build up and maintain. You don't want to have all that tarnished just over you trying to get a competitive advantage. You know, do things the right way, have some integrity, and yeah, that's what it is. So yeah, that's the news. Conor Benn turns in his license with the British Boxing Board of Control, and Eddie Hearn is still doing damage control and diversion tactics. So make of that what you will. Fast Eddie, they call him Fast Eddie for a reason. He's smart, he's sharp, and he's a bit of a, you know, to be honest with you, a bit of a sociopath. So I'll leave it at that. You guys can leave your comments down below. Make sure you guys take the time to subscribe. And like I say in every single one of these videos, you can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just a kid from Dania. So until next time, take care, guys.
And I think True School Sports, he's the truth. One of the best YouTube, the best.
Ooh, the number one.
Number one.
Brandon, you've been there, man, and you're building up a good following with us.
Thank you.
And I'm proud to be a part of what you're doing too. You are spectacular, and
You know,
thank you, man. All the best to True School Boxing, and keep up the good work.